Hello and welcome back to Racers Now. In this video, we're taking a anti-post look at the 2024 Stayers Hurdle at the Cheltenham Festival. I mean, the Stayers Hurdle is often the most open and sometimes wild of anti-post markets and on the day markets, to be honest. Let's have it right. Just look at last year's renewal that we're going to touch on soon. But yeah, of the four so-called championship races at the Cheltenham Festival, the Stayers Hurdle is certainly the one that is most difficult to predict and has unpredictable contenders year in, year out. I mean, it's usually littered with contenders or runners and riders that have failed or at least tried at something else. Not quick enough for a champion hurdle, can't jump well enough to go chasing, etc. etc. And this year we might get more runners than ever as they try to avoid being beaten 40 or 50 lengths by Constitution Hill in the champion chase over a champion hurdle over 2 miles. You could see more contenders turning up in the Stayers Hurdle, just outright avoiding Constitution Hill. There's horses that could win a Grade One, but they ain't going to win a Grade One racing against Constitution Hill too often. I mean, just look at the 2023 Stayers Hurdle last March. 11-year-old Sire de Burley won at 33 to 1. 10-year-old Dashel Drasher was second at 40 to 1. Pretty wild, and both of them might actually turn up again this year. So let's have a quick look at the market then. Tiapu is at the top of the market, as you can see there, 7 to 1 best price. And of the four races we're going to be looking at this week on the channel, you know, the Champion Hurdle, 1 to 2 already, Constitution Hill. The Champion Chase, 11 to 10 already, El Fabiolo. The Gold Cup, 2 to 1, top price, Galopin des Champs already. And you look at this race and it's 6 and 7 to 1 the field, and there's only one horse at single figures, as you can see on screen there. So yeah, Tiapu went off favourite for the Stayers Hurdle last year and is anti-post favourite as we speak. I mean, it's not an original opinion here. Many people have said it, but I thought he'd have probably won this Tiapu. He would have won last season if ridden in a straight line and not ridden by a semi-retired jockey in David Russell. It wasn't his finest hour, let's be honest. He should have won, really, this Tiapu, and he should be coming back as a defending champion rather than one that finished third last year. But I mean, that doesn't mean that he'll win next year, but he definitely should have gone close to winning last year. Impere Pass has already been mentioned and is already being talked about in the champion hurdle market. He's in about half a dozen anti-post markets. He could go chasing. He could stay over hurdles, 2 miles, 3 miles. The questions remain where he may turn up. Let's remember, this Impere Pass did win a Grade 1 novice event at the 2023 festival over 2.5 miles. So does he step down to the champion hurdle division over 2 miles, or does he step up to 3 miles for this Stayers Hurdle? The market thinks that he's more likely to go to the champion hurdle. He's 6 to 1 to that, and he's 12 to 1 for this, as you can see on screen. That's the general consensus. But I mean, he could be the closest contender to Constitution Hill, but I'm not sure. I think the Mullins gang and connections think that this Impere Pass is very good. And I think that they might think he is too good to be an also ran behind that superstar in Constitution Hill. And I think he could turn up here and win this Grade 1 instead. It's a risky anti-post bet because he clearly might not run. But 12 to 1's a nice enough price for the Stayers Hurdle. And it does look a play to me. I'll probably touch on him in my conclusion. But yeah, Impere Pass would be, of all the horses listed in this Stayers Hurdle anti-post market at the moment, I think he's the most interesting, and 12 to 1 might not look too shabby come March. Running through a few of the other contenders, Marie's Rock made an overdue debut over a staying trip at Aintree in April, and ran with all sorts of promise there behind Sire de Burley. That was despite losing a shoe, this Marie's Rock. She was sent off 9 to 4 for last season's Mares Hurdle. That's a Grade 1 at the festival. So that has to be an option this year also. So there's some warnings there if you're looking at Marie's Rock anti-post, because she could drop back down to the Mares Hurdle. An easier assignment, let's be honest. Not on the screen at the moment, but Gaelic Warrior has to be of interest in this market, and he has to be mentioned. He's got a current price ranging from as low as 5 to 1 for the Stayers Hurdle to 25 to 1. Rarely do you see such disparity in opinions nowadays from the bookmakers. I mean, this Gaelic Warrior is only 5 years old, so has many options open to him, including novice chasing, and does not like racing left-handed at the likes of Cheltenham. We've seen that before. So will he be kept in Ireland, maybe aimed at Punchestown, which is right-handed? But even if it's not in the Stayers Hurdle, Gaelic Warrior is looked pretty certain to have a big-ish impact on the season and probably a big impact on a race at the Cheltenham Festival. Even if he doesn't win one at the Cheltenham Festival, he's already been very close to winning one, and he's likely to be up there in any market of any race that he tends to turn up in. Old boy Cider Burley's already had a mention. He's always been a quality horse, but not quite at the top level. That was until winning 2 Grade 1s in the space of a month last spring. As I mentioned earlier, he is already a 11-year-old, so he is a veteran of the game. This Sire de Burley, he won 2 Grade 1s in the space of a month last spring at Cheltenham and Aintree. Fair play to him. He was 33-1 for this very race on the day for the Stayers Hurdle in 23, and then backed up at Aintree. Again, pretty much underestimated at Aintree, winning at 8-1 that day. He's already a 3-time Cheltenham Festival winner. He's on the verge of possibly becoming a bit of a legend if he goes on to win again this Sire de Burley. And all those horses quoted in the market so far, I think the Sire de Burley is probably the most likely to run in next year's Stayers Hurdle. I mean, you've got Tiapu that's got options. Maybe he is likely to run in the Stayers, to be fair. Impere Pass is not even quoted by all bookmakers, as you can see on screen there. Marie's Rock might well run in the Mares Hurdle again, as she did last year. I've mentioned that Gaelic Warrior, he's got no end of options. So yeah, Sire de Burley is in there at 20-1 to retain his title. Is most likely is very likely to run and should give a strong case again. But he will be 12 by the time he gets round to defending his title. Usually, I want one thing to say about the Sire de Burley. Usually, he has stinking form in the winter months, and then nowhere, and then he turns up at the festival in top shape. There must be something about the British air in March that switches him on, because he turned up last year at 33-1, pretty much unconsidered, and won. I mean, it was a bit of a blanket finish for a Grade 1. Go back and watch the replay. Talking about last season's renewal, Blazing Cow went off 9-2 for this race, the Stayers Hurdle last year. He was hampered quite badly 4 out. He could only manage 6 and came back injured. We've not seen Blazing Cow since. He has got a checkered history in terms of injury and fitness, but could certainly be a player if turning up on the day. Blazing Cow is currently 25-1, but with that injury record, I'm not sure you could back him anti-post. Where would I put my money now then? 5 months before the race, it's got to be Impere Pass. I think Connections, as I've already said, I think Connections might think he's too good to be battered by Constitution Hill. Mullins has got state man for that job already, although that is in different ownership. And he was probably, this Impere Pass, probably the most exciting novice hurdler last season and will stay the trip, in my opinion. Yes, it's a reasonably big if, but if Impere Pass rocks up for the Stayers Hurdle next March, he'll be closer to even money than 12-1. Thanks for watching, and be back with more racing content on Racers Now.